Fifth race weekend for the Formula 3 European Championship, and a little taste of Formula 1 perhaps as they're at Spa-Francorchamps, the home of the Belgian Grand Prix, with Eau Rouge, one of the world's most famous corners. A great opportunity for the young guns to shine at this driver's circuit above all others.
Well, this is a very, let's say, old school truck. A little bit intimidating. These guys now, they're gonna have a difficult task because their truck is damp and they must go on slicks because it's not wet enough.
Spa is a circuit which is part of the legend of motor racing, and happy to be here.
Spa is great. It's one of the best racetracks in the world, you know, and unfortunately we have classic Spa weather today.
This is history of motor racing. I hope these circuits will last forever. Good luck to everybody.
Ready to hit the track for race weekend number 5. Let's take a look back first at Monza in Italy, with a huge crash for Canadian youngster Lance Stroll, escaping the car without a scratch.
I'm Lance Stroll and I'm racing for Prema Power Team. Well, I started go-karting in 2008. I moved over to Europe in 2012 to start international karting. And last year was my first year in Formula cars, and I won the Formula 4 Italian Championship with Prema Power Team. I'm part of the Ferrari Driver Academy, so they help me a lot outside of the racetrack with physical training, mental training, etc. And as well, Prema at the track is a huge supporter. My biggest idol in motor racing is definitely Michael Schumacher, because when I was a kid growing up, he was the one I was waking up to watch on Sunday morning. I chose the FIA Formula 3 European Championship because it's a very competitive championship. A lot of great drivers have came through here to go to Formula 1, so I'm here trying to do the same thing. No, there's none in particular I really love more than others. I just like driving the car.
Another rookie in the field is driving for the signature team, Alex Albon. Lotus Formula 1 Junior shows us around Spa.
Hello, my name's Alex Albon. I'm a driver for Team Signature, and this is my lap of Spa. So as we start the lap, we have turn 1, fifth gear into first gear. Important to have really good braking and really good power. The straight is so long here, we're flat all the way until Les Combes. As we approach maybe the most famous corner in the world, Eau Rouge. For us, it's easy flat. In the wet, maybe not so much. Again, a long straight is most probably the best place to overtake. You have a big slipstream. You can arrive to around 255 kilometers per hour. Very technical to keep the speed through there. Here, turn 8, a long, heavy brake. It's downhill, so a lot of understeer. Second gear, and we come through the gears quickly. A short brake to the left-hander. Use all the track. We arrive to Tour now. One of the quickest corners of the track, a really nice corner. You can do it flat with the right aero, just 6th gear. As we arrive now into what we call fifth path, it's 4th gear. A lot of speed, long right, long left, a little lift, and then we come into an important corner. It's 3rd, 4th gear. Really important to have the good exit here again, just because the straight is so long. Again, one of the main places to overtake. You can get really good slipstreams in the Formula 3 car. Here again, we arrive at around 255 kilometers per hour. Find the braking point into the bus stop. Really good, really important to have a good brake efficiency. First gear, use all the curb on the right, and then prepare your exit again at the end of the lap. That was my lap of Spa-Francorchamps. I hope you enjoyed.
Saturday morning in the Belgian Ardennes, temperatures are low, it's rainy, the track is damp, and for the first time in Formula 3, Emanuele Pirot, 5-time Le Mans winner and former F1 driver, is here as race steward.
I'm here as a race steward. Normally I do it for the Formula 1 races, and it is just nice to deal with young kids who are there, you know, trying to bite and win the races. Sometimes, you know, screwing it up because they don't have the experience and they're not formed also as a driver. But it's really a great challenge and a great pleasure for me to do that.
Well, 3 wins last time out in Monza. Felix Rosenqvist on pole here at Spa, hoping that at least some of these races go full distance. Great start from third on the grid from Antonio Giovinazzi, though. Puts Rosenqvist under pressure as he grabs the lead into La Source. Marcus Pommer turned around at the hairpin. Fortunately, everybody avoids him as the rest of the field stream down through Eau Rouge and then start the climb up the long Kemmel Straight. Already, Antonio Giovinazzi pulling away from Rosenqvist, trying to break the toe and find a bit of grip for the braking area. Jake Dennis in third, ahead of Antoine Leclerc in fourth position as they get to Les Combes the first time. High-speed spin for Gustavo Menezes, tangling with a rival as they get into Les Combes. He rejoins at the back of the pack as positions are swapped all the way around the track. Giovinazzi, Rosenqvist and Dennis from Leclerc in fourth place. Maizano in fifth. Slipstream up the Kemmel Straight and Rosenqvist gets the lead away from Giovinazzi. Being in front is not always the best place. Sam McLeod tagged into a spin by Ryan Tvita. It's on the run down to the hairpin. Replay of the start and a great getaway from Giovinazzi. Such a good start from Felix Rosenqvist. Maybe his part of the start grip was just a little slippier. Tangle, unfortunately everybody avoiding Marcus Pommer. Battle for third place, Leclerc versus Jake Dennis. And Leclerc making the move and making it stick as Rosenqvist starts to break away from Giovinazzi. 4 laps in. Raul Hyman gets onto the wet part of the track outside the racing line, just manages to gather it all back up. Giovinazzi returning the favour on Rosenqvist, towing up behind him from Eau Rouge, up the Kemmel Straight and retaking the lead. Classic slipstreaming action with Leclerc right behind. Jake Dennis being dropped at that stage as Tatiana Calderon gets tagged from behind by Lance Stroll. Synchronized spinning, both losing ground. Rosenqvist trying to go around the outside of Giovinazzi, just gets into Les Combes a little deep, avoids going off track, and Giovinazzi retakes the spot. Rosenqvist behind him, and Leclerc still there, as further back, Jake Dennis with Alexander Albon, the number 21 car, pulling up behind him in the slipstream and towing past. Then it all starts to get busy. Leclerc takes second place from Rosenqvist at the bus stop. Rosenqvist fights back, next time up the Kemmel Straight in the slipstream. Just manages to squeeze his way back in front for second. 3 laps to go, 3 drivers in it. Classic slipstreamer. And trouble for Giovinazzi, closing the door on Rosenqvist. Rosenqvist goes up the old public road and rejoins, but he's lost ground. Leclerc leads, Rosenqvist in trouble as he lost ground, but Giovinazzi picking up a puncture.
3 laps to go, we come in the straight just after Eau Rouge, and we was in 3 cars there, and so I was watching Charles and Felix, and actually before the braking I was in front to both the drivers, so I come back to the racing line because it was dumping the side, but in the end, yeah, we had a little bit touching with Felix, so yeah, I damaged a lot my race where I take 0 points.
Well, 0 points for him, but victory for Charles Leclerc. Rosenqvist taking second, Alexander Albon on the podium in third place. Third win for Leclerc, he moves to the championship lead.
I didn't want to risk too much because otherwise we will lose too much to Antonio, and so yeah, then it will have been hard to come back, and I knew Antonio well. Antonio is playing the championship with me, so yeah, then I stayed, and what I expect happened. luckily.
Suddenly Antonio hit my front and I was in the grass, and luckily I could recover on the escape road, so it was a bit, yeah, I'm happy with the second, and unfortunately I couldn't challenge for the win after that.
Yesterday we had quite a bad qualifying, especially qualifying 2, where I crashed, and honestly I was really down on myself. I was really upset. I annoyed at myself, and today is the best way to hopefully give something back to the mechanics who fixed my car last night.
2 rookies on the podium and the oldest driver in the field, youth and experience. And the first race at Spa going to Charles Leclerc as he continues to lead the championship. From there, it's a bit of a downhill trail of poor driving and shocking accidents. Stay with us for more.